You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network. New shows every day. Find us at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Welcome to episode 200. 200.
Yeah.
That's right. We're Red Wings
Rant. Baby.
Tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings. Finally have a home. Mike, we the schedule got all screwed up, so we're just gonna do a live watch along during the Wings and Ducks game, and then also record our 200th episode. So, podcast listeners are gonna get a fun listen where if things go great, it'll be fun to listen to. If things go sour, I'm sure that'll be fun to listen to as well. Our live reactions of us getting whatever happens to us. It's clearly what a watch along
We are
is.
here for the big Ducks game.
Just different. You know what? If you're looking for a big Red Wings game this year, it's not like you're getting out of your seat for the Tampa Bay Lightning, because that's your two-time Stanley Cup champion. No, this is a big game, Mike, because you've got Moritz, Seider, Raymond, and Trevor Zegras going at it. Honestly, this might be one of the biggest
Calder
matchups.
Cup implications. Whoever wins this game gets the cup.
Exactly. I said on Twitter, whoever has the better advanced analytics at the end of the game should win the Calder Cup.
And it is
the Calder Trophy.
It is a three-man race right now because Nedeljkovic is not playing. Greiss is in there, so he's out. But Matt, if you had any doubts about the hugeness of this game, Matt, the implications, the Anaheim Angels, now the Los Angeles Angels, Rally Monkey dropped the puck to start the game today. So we got all the big-name celebs out with eyeballs on this game. Huge.
Now, Brad, you threw in there the monkey. This is probably the best time to throw out there, Mike.
He is the Rally Monkey. That's how I know him.
We have a couple of giveaways to mention for our 200th episode. So anybody that's coming along here. Mike, we're going to give away a T-shirt for the first person to comment on the live episode. And Brad, without me even mentioning it, you get the win.
You mentioned the monkey first.
Yeah.
The victory monkey.
You win a T-shirt. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Brad, I want you to email us at admin at bodpodcast.com. That's ADMIN at bodpodcast.com. Send us your info because you get our first win here. That was quick. Yeah, I didn't even have time to go through our giveaways. Matt, his Wi-Fi decided to do a firmware update as it would at 8 o'clock on a
perfect timing.
Yeah, no, it was great timing there by ye old Orbi Wi-Fi mesh router there. But since we came in late, I didn't get a chance to throw this out there. I probably should have just said, you know what? Let's not do a giveaway. But if I'm going to do a giveaway, I'd love for it to be to Brad because Brad's here all the time watching us live. So, Brad, congratulations. Now,
congrats, Brad.
We got a couple more here for anybody that's going to be coming in. We've got three listeners right now, so you guys have the best shot at this. Brad, I'm not going to hold you back. If you want to win 2 T-shirts, it's all you. But I also have another one here since we're doing a live watch along.
Yeah, you might have to get multiple sizes. This is COVID. That's what I've had to do is I buy the shirt that I used to wear and the one I wear with my layer of COVID fat. So get 2 sizes.
But another easy giveaway here. You guys throw it up in the chat. That's how we're going to pick you. And if multiple people pick the same person, it's the first person to put it down that gets the win. Mike, who's going to get our first goal of the game tonight? Now, I want you to pick the first Red Wing. But first person person who guesses that correctly, and it's the first person who guesses that correctly, also going to take home a shirt tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah. And, of course, Mike, I don't know if you remember, but we put up our new shop. So if anybody's looking to get one of these nice beauties, I'm wearing the brand new Red Wings Rant sweatshirt. You have to comment the most tonight. So I'm going to go through and count all the comments. And that person who comments
I
the
love
most during our live watch along is going to win the sweatshirt. So I figure that's a volume, right? Like you got to put in a lot of effort to get that one. So I thought I'd reward it that way.
If anybody wants to get on the coattails, I'm putting in an early bid for Lucas Raymond because I think he wants that Calder Cup, man. I don't think he wants Zegras on that at all. I think our boy's going in. I think Raymond's got it tonight.
That's a fun pick. Nobody's throwing in the comments yet who they think's gonna get the first goal.
Put Raymond in there. That's what I would do. Yep, he's getting the first and the last goal.
And then we've got a Red Wings Rant sticker for the last person to comment on the live feed tonight. So I'm very excited to continue to announce that throughout the show. So in case there's a lull, I want to see some comments. But if I may, Mike, I thought I'd give you a chance, and this will give me a chance to throw this up in the comments. We're 200 episodes in. And also, we're watching the Wings and Ducks right now. We're 14:50 left in the first period.
Oh, Raymond almost got it.
Yeah, we're watching the Wings cycling out in front of the net right now.
I'm watching the stream from Xfinity, so I might be a few seconds behind. So my vote obviously doesn't count as one of the hosts of the show. But I'm also, if you're in the future, you can't vote either. That's cheating.
I'm like, I can get you a T-shirt if you want one.
I need a shirt. And like some detergent. All right. What did you have for me?
We're 200 episodes in, Mike.
Yes.
That's 200 episodes of discussing not only the Red Wings, but we started mid Yzerplan. We started
a long road.
Yeah, we started after the first draft, so we did miss Seider actually being drafted, but we've pretty much been watching him grow as a Red Wing ever since. Lindstrom just got laid the F out. Holy mackerel.
He got laid out so hard there's a fight about it.
Yep. Here's Giovanni Smith.
I call him the 5-minute man because he's about to get another major here.
All right, we do have, while we're watching Giovanni Smith throwing fisticuffs here.
He is ruining that Duck jersey.
Silver's got
stretched out now. Yeah.
Silver's gotten a Mistikoff for the first tally tonight. Performance art.
Zadina!
He's going Zadina. You got to love it. So, Mike, we're 200 episodes in. We've had guests like Ken Kell coming on and giving us some good words of wisdom. We've had Max Boltman coming on. I'm not going to ask you who your favorite guest was. I want to ask you what your number one lesson learned so far through 200 episodes. And I'm going to try and throw in the comments here some of the rules, some of the T-shirts we're giving away. So that people who are coming in late, they know what to do. But Mike, 200 episodes. What's the one thing that as a Red Wings viewer, observer, if you want to say fan, what have you learned? What's your takeaway as we move on episode to episode to make sure we're delivering the best content we can?
I would say patience, right? Because we've been through the real lows of the Yzerplan, but also patience with our own Red Wings rant plan, because too many times this season we've gotten caught up on because we are the most 500 team of all time. Tonight we actually do enter the game 17-17-3. But we are the most Jekyll and Hyde home and away team ever, where we're a buzzsaw at home and just a turnstile defensively and offensively on the road. So I would say that this season, just being patient, just realizing this is a 500 team, it's okay. And I know we were very excited about using the P word, and we're just not quite there yet. Just be a little patient, wait for a few more of those, Red Wing bushes to flower, if you will. And, we'll get there in another season or two. I didn't mean for that to sound quasi-sexual, but there you go.
All right, I got one more I'm typing up here to remind everybody about the Red Wings Rant.
Patience and follow the plan. Yes.
This will be fun, too. I really want this to kind of boom at the end of the live episode. The Red Wings Rant sticker giveaway. Last person to comment on the live feed gets a Red Wings Rant sticker giveaway. Sticker. All right, Mike.
Matt, what have you learned? It took you 200 episodes to finally figure the F out, but you finally get it now. What did you finally glean after 199 episodes?
You know what? I will say over those 199, I think we've like learned a lot about analytics and how to properly assess them. I think that's huge. But I think ultimately it has to come back to like what's the best way to use all this stuff and to use your eyeball test and to assess game by game. And it was Ked Cal that taught. Oh well, there you go. Ducks up 1-0.
I was looking at you and I missed the goal by the Ducks. Was it Zegras?
Yeah, it was Zegras.
Son of a bitch. There goes that Calder Cup, Lucas. How do you feel about that?
And I did it too. Calder Trophy, right? Our Calder Cup is going to our AHL.
I know. Wait, there's a Calder Trophy and a Calder Cup?
Yeah, AHL.
We couldn't have come up with some more names, NHL? Come on.
Performance Art is thrilled with Grice on that, moving from side to side there. You know what? Honestly, I mean, come on. That was that.
I think it's a fair fight, though. The Anaheim, I keep calling them Anaheim. The Ducks, they are Anaheim again. Yeah. I can't keep track of that city. Matt, the Ducks are playing a goalie who's never played in the NHL before, and Grice is doing his best to look like he's never played in the NHL before. So I think we have a fair fight tonight.
That's not everybody. That was just awful.
I know, but it's fun to pick on Grice. We've talked about it.
Absolutely. Especially with Performance Art along for the ride here. Grice, I got to answer Brad's question here. He says, is it a hoodie or a sweatshirt? It is a hoodie. I do. That was inaccurate, but hopefully that doesn't stop anybody from trying to win.
Hoodies are out this season, Matt. Nobody wants them.
Performance Art, bring back Hasek. Now, Mike, at this point, 100-year-old Dominik Hasek, is that really the better option than Thomas Grice right now? Is he really that bad?
Hold on, I wanted to bring up something. So I want to poll the group. Would you rather have Grice or 56-year-old Dominik Hasek?
Oh, we want to get the actual age. No fun being
Triple H is 52, Matt. So Triple H plus 4 years. All right, I got a better one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, he just had a pretty good match with AJ Styles like a WrestleMania ago. So Matt, you can have Undertaker right now or Grice.
Well, let's see. Am I playing this as me watching like let's say you ask me for do I want Wolverine, the X-Men? Do I want Wolverine or Grice? So am I playing this as saying I have the Phenom, I have the character, the Undertaker at my disposal, or do I have
you either get Undertaker main eventing WrestleMania this year against Roman Reigns, or you get another Thomas Grice game?
Oh my God, another Thomas Grice game. For anybody that's a
Are you kidding me? Man, everybody knows the Undertaker. Matt, you're missing out on the entrance.
No,
that's like half an hour. You get lightning. You get a magic gong, blue lights. His eyes roll back. He gingerly picks up his coat before he steps over the ropes. He doesn't trip. Very smart move.
What's up, Timmy? Coming in with the first goal is going to be Bertuzzi.
Like
and
that.
Brad's on top of that too. He says Bert's looking good. He is. I got you, Timmy. First goal going to be Bert. Hopefully they're coming fast and hard. I
really thought things would start out a little hotter because we have our home jerseys on, but not yet.
Well, Performance Art's he's got the right mindset right now. We're doing better than
already doubled our last first period. Matt, I was gonna throw something at you because I'm so glad that you watched that, so I didn't have to. Matt, was that 27-1 in the first period?
Yeah, they added a shot midway through the period break.
No.
Can I just say how lame it was to see Red Wings Twitter start to discuss people correcting other Red Wings fans? Oh, wait, we actually got 2 shots. They added a shot, and it's like, that's not the point. All right, folks, we don't care that we went from 1 shot to 2 shots. Let's not correct Max Boltman, who's making a point about how we got outshot by 25. No, it was totally 24. So
All right, Matt, I'm going to throw something at you real quick here because if you're listening to this show, you probably watch a little bit of Detroit sports. So I'm not going to do all-time ineptitude because the Lions win that contest every single time. So it's not even a debate. But, Matt, I'm going to throw this up there, just recent memory. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Red Wings give up a 26-shot disparity in the first period. I'm not giving them two. So they lose 27-1 against the Kings.
Yeah. So
there's going to be a little range of emotions here. Again, it's hard to pick just one Lions moment, but the Lions lose on a record 66-yard field goal. Rip your guts out. But the Pistons this year lost in regulation to the San Antonio 13th in the West Spurs, 144-109. Now, this was a roster full of scabs because of COVID, but it was 144 fucking points in a regulation game. And then the last one, Matt, for the Tigers, this was a pretty good year for them. But I'll say they kept playing Has-Been Cabrera, and they're just embarrassing at bats at this point. So, Matt, of those four, what was the worst one?
Well, they're bad for different reasons, right? I think comparable is the Pistons loss and the Red Wings last night. I mean, that full game against the Kings, that's comparable to us going down. You said that was the 13th ranked Spurs.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Those results are in lockstep, right? Heartbreaking is a completely different conversation because last night, I mean, when it hits 27-1, 27-2 in shots, at that point, you're almost relieved. Game starts at 10:30. Mike, I threw out the Figaro gif. I'm snuggling up in my bed, and I'm gonna have a nice, good 40 winks. That didn't actually happen, but for a lot of Red Wings fans, that actually happened. So you get shellacked, for lack of a better word, in that first period. There's reasons. There's silver lights. There are silver linings to that. And of course, the final score, it makes it feel if it gets so far out of hand, your handle of the need to get a win that night, you lose grip of that early on. So as the game continues, the heartbrokenness is just gone. It once a loss becomes laughable like that, or you get the likes of Prashant Iyer looking up statistics for the last time, we got blown out shot wise like that. The last time that happened in a game, that's when you give up on this one. So Pistons losing, Red Wings losing, those are lockstep. Lions losing by a record field goal. If you want to talk about the thing that sticks with you, that loss does. Embarrassing losses, I think we let go of that, right? Don't we let go of the blowouts? But Mike, I still remember, and this is going to be so funny if I have the wrong year. 1999, we lose to the Bears by a field goal, and we missed the playoffs with Gary Moeller as our head coach. I went to that game. I cried like a baby. I had other Lions fans that I've never met before. Dad went to the bathroom, and I'm just sitting outside of the bathroom sobbing. Because I'm a little guy. I don't know how to take losses. You know what?
Still don't.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I take that back.
Not a lot changed since back then.
I'm sobbing. I don't know how to take the loss. I will never know how to take a loss. That's the better way to put it. And I mean, that's it, right? I'll never forget that feeling. That was the Bears had that kicker who looked away from the field goal post. So I was just laughing as I'm watching it happen. I'm also thinking to myself, I've never seen a field goal this long before, so I don't have to worry about this. The Lions got this in the bag. And really, I do feel like that game was when we started to see longer and longer field goals. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I never forget that. The heartbreakers, you never forget. But, record-breaking heartbreakers, that's a whole nother conversation. Aaron Rodgers airing it out that was Thanksgiving, right? When we lost on the Hail Mary. And Blayton holding all around Aaron Rodgers. And they still, that one I'll never forget. This blowout, the 4-0, the shot differential, I'll remember it if somebody brings it up, but it's not going to hurt me. So, worst loss, if I want to define it, I think worst, if you had to put a percentage on it, I'd put heartbreaking. as like a higher amount of worst. Like if you're ranking worst losses, right? Like heartbreaking has to take a huge chunk of that. If you're going to weight it, that's what I'm looking for. That's how I'm describing it. So over the last year, Mike, I'll take that field goal. That's for a Red Wings podcast. That does nothing for the listeners. They're like, who cares? But if there are any, Detroit sports fans who are, you're stuck with us,
maybe worst was the wrong adjective, right? If I said most nauseating, the Piston one, I can't be as upset because half the roster wasn't even playing. There was, like guys who were in the G League. They were like playing at the rec center last week, and they lost to the professional Spurs basketball team against our G League team. So, I'll discredit that one. The Tigers with Cabrera is pretty nauseating because the guy, it's over, man. They're going to finally turn it around, and that guy's, he's not going to be on our team anymore when we do. That Lions field goal was extremely, I wouldn't even say it was nauseating, because it just made me laugh, because as soon as they made the announcement that this would be a world record 66-yard field goal, I guaranteed it would go in, and lo and behold, it went in. Man, I would say that 27-1 first period was the most nauseating moment, because this should have been the Red Wings at full strength. They didn't really have any excuses besides, you know how we play on the road. So, Matt, I think it was the most nauseating and the most irresponsible of the four teams. The Pistons, it was excusable. The Lions are cursed, and the Tigers are, at the end of this, 30-year mortgage with Cabrera. So they're almost done. This 27-1 shellacking, that was the most nauseating so far this year.
I guess, not nauseating. I think it's. I guess if the same thing happened tonight, where I'm all pumped for, like, I wasn't pumped for the Wings and Kings, but I was pumped for this Ducks game because of the implications for the Calder Trophy. So that would have to play into it. But yeah, I'm going to stick with my answer. I know where you're coming from with your answer. I don't discredit it at all. It's a good answer, but it's different, right? A late game, you're getting blown out. You get to go to bed early.
You know what else too is like, look at, there's even, let's do it this way too. Like with the Tigers, Cabrera still had these weird, like, historical milestones he could hit. So you're like, oh wow, look, he moved up a list for being old and still being active, right? So there's still like a watchability.
Yeah.
For the Pistons, they just won a game with a bunch of scabs. It was like their fourth string point guard, Frank Jackson, and the Pips managed to win a game. It was incredible. Nobody could believe they did it. The Lions losing on that 66-yard field goal, that's real watchability, because you went and showed somebody, wow, look, they lost again. The Lions curse continues. It was a 66-yard field goal that nobody's ever kicked one that far before. It was almost a kickoff to start the game. That's how far the field goal was. The guy did a kickoff through the posts, and it went in. But the Red Wings, as a Red Wing fan, you got to watch a whole period where they get one shot, and they give up 27 of them, man. What is the redeeming watchability factor in that game?
Not a ton. It's tough to go back and watch most sporting events, to be completely honest.
Like if you had to go back and watch one of those four events, is the Red Wings game the last pick of those four? You have to go back and watch the whole game.
Well, you do get to watch Nedeljkovic stand on his head.
If that's doing it for you, Matt.
Hey, you asked the question. There's an answer to it.
I don't know if I can watch that. It's a lot of non-offense.
Well, Mike, as a I'm well beyond just being a hockey fan, and I can appreciate every aspect of the game.
Yeah, so, you are a GM of a 56-time Stanley Cup winner in the video game, so we don't need to go over your full resume here, Matt. Jeez, Pete.
Well, check the resume again, Mike, because I just said my favorite Stanley Cup win was number 56. I believe I'm well into probably 500 Stanley Cup wins, dating back to the 2002 NHL game, which I think was probably the first one I got my hands on, got my grubby little mitts on.
If you saw me make a weird face, it was watching Greiss try to clear the puck, and he just kind of handed it over to the Ducks behind the net. It was very bizarre. Luckily, it looks like things are looking up. Oh, there's a shot.
Better on that.
Yeah. Uncle Mo tried to tie it up.
So, quick, I guess pivot here, right? We can pull up one of these slides here. We actually have our slideshow ready to go. Like we had a lot of conversation in the last episode about the placement of Zadina. Now we just saw Nemestikov, Rasmussen, and Adam Ernie out there. Projected lines tonight, Mike. Now I swear I just saw Zadina with Veleno and Gagne, but the Red Wings initial post for lines was Fabry, Suter, and Zadina on the second line. So this is something I can't begin to confirm right now as we're chit-chatting during the middle of the game if we've actually already changed those lines, if this actually did come to fruition. Because we've got Filip Zadina, Sam Gagne, Joe Veleno. Just as I mentioned, we're just on the ice there, so they've got, according to Natural Stat Trick, 49 seconds together. I wanted to bring this into the conversation because now this is clearly wrong. What we got from the Detroit Red Wings Twitter. I guess what I was arguing about all day today, Mike, is what we need to do with Filip Zadina, what he's owed, and I think something that a lot of people are forgetting.
What he's owed? I can't wait to answer that question.
Well, that's the thing is there's 22 guys on this team, and there's been a lot of conversation today about what exactly are any of these players owed compared to anybody else. And I have some thoughts I'd like to throw in there. We should throw in there too. We just got the text, Mike, from our dad. Performance art thrown out there too. Bob Saget was just found dead. Oh. I guess you and I watched Full House a lot when we were kids, but Bob Saget's comedy.
Well, America's Funniest Home Videos too. Yeah,
true. Stand-up comedy, I was a fan of. I actually gave it more of a chance when one of my good buddies, one of my favorite podcasters, Anthony Jeselnik, talked about his relationship with Bob Saget recently. Of course, obviously before the passing. So, but yeah, he mentioned go back, listen to it. It was something like growing up. I don't think I gave it enough credit, but Bob Saget. This is a bummer, but yeah, I highly recommend you go back.
Yeah, comedically, what a diverse guy when he was super Magoo on Full House, but he couldn't be farther away from that in his stand-up. One of the more talented blue workers ever. And if you just really want to go down a rabbit hole that's worthy of your time, just look him up doing Comedy Central roasts because his stuff is really good on there. Yeah. His interviews are really good. If you happen to find his stand-up on there, they haven't, flagged it or taken it down. Definitely do that and be in for a shock if you've only seen him on America's Funniest Home Videos and Full House. But he's definitely like a comedian's comedian. Well, he's friends with like the Godfrey's, the Norm Macdonald's, the Jeff Rosses, people like that. So yeah, he sounded like you're going to say something.
He's out there to make himself laugh and his friends laugh, which is, I think that's tough to market, right? Like you get your PR folks, you get your managers, and they want you to do something that a huge amount of people are going to love. And I think you putting it as a comedian's comedian is a great way, because if you can appreciate somebody that is out there to have fun. And here we go. Hronek on the break, and he throws it over the net. All right. Good shot there, Hronek. Just looking for something. Performance art thrown out there. 6 shots. We're playoff bound. What's up, Tim? He's got that correction there. He's got 7 shots. Yeah, that's going to be a big point of conversation at the period break, ladies and gentlemen. How many extra shots are added to the score by the scorekeepers? But yeah, this is a Red Wings podcast. I'm bummed about the passing of Bob. But yeah, I would just urge you guys. Give it a listen. We did the same thing when Norm Macdonald passed, and it's always one of those things where I think a part of it, Mike, and this probably this goes across all elements of pop culture, sports definitely, but we form like our favorite entertainers and athletes, and we just want to make sure that because we love them so much that they don't disappear from society. That's a real thing. Putting out a legacy, that also includes the things that you love. You want to make sure those legacies continue. And that's a whole lengthy conversation for another day and a whole nother podcast. But yeah, I'd urge you guys to go check out Bob Saget for my own benefit.
Yeah, I mean, if you like comedy, he was somebody who's definitely still doing stand up way past when he needed to. So he was just out there because he loved making people laugh and he liked being around a live audience. So yeah, this is a shitty one. Not a great way to start 2022.
Hey, hockey fans, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has a no-brainer offer that'll make you a winner once any shot gets past the goalie. New customers can bet just $1 on any NHL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores. That's right, the NHL got rid of ties in 2005, so someone is going to light the lamp. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, no worries. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings daily fantasy hockey contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN. Throw down $1 in any NHL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. That's promo code THPN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. 1 per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Well, we got 1:59, Mike, left in the first period. We were getting into the conversation before we had mentioned there from Performance Art about Bob there. But I was getting into the conversation about what is any one single player owed? And we, you get into this.
I can't even hear that question without laughing, but go ahead.
Right. I mean, I think we're going to be on the same side. I'll preface it that way. But you can get into specifics here. What is Zadina owed by the Yzerplan? Or you can just talk any one individual player by any one hockey team. Mike, because I can't even get through the question.
Yeah, we try to ask it again.
What is any one individual player owed by their respective team?
Not a goddamn thing. I think what's going on is there's discussion about Zadina getting demoted to the fourth line after he was a healthy scratch, and then they're trying to bring him back. What is that? There were questions asked, like, what is this going to do for his development for a guy who's having confidence issues to put him on the fourth line? But I think what that argument is missing is by putting him back on the second line, what is that doing for the mentality of the rest of the roster to see this guy who's not producing continue to get chance after chance after chance after chance on the power play, getting more ice time by being on the quote unquote second line. And so it's just this bizarre delusion where for some reason people think he's entitled, to all these extra opportunities. Maybe because he was a first rounder, maybe because he's younger, but we do have other former first rounders. We do have other young guys who could be getting that power play time, that precious power play time to try and, make some money here and, showcase your talent.
Speaking of power play, Mike, we're about to go on a 5-on-3 here. Steele takes a tripping penalty on Letty, and what was it? Mason cross-checks Fabry. All right, so now we got a 5-on-3 going. Let's see what we got.
I hate when that happens and there's like 30 seconds left in the period. We got a minute and 10 seconds. There's a little bit of time here to get some cooking.
Now, this isn't going to be something. Performance art threw out there. Can someone explain to me these YouTube channels where you watch someone call the game without seeing the game? I got really self-conscious. Then I was like, wait, we've barely talked about the game. We're just watching it together. So I don't think he's talking about us.
Was that performance art you said that?
Yeah.
The weirdest thing performance art is people who do that for professional wrestling pay-per-views.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anywho's
those are like 6-hour shows, but go ahead.
Do you remember as we're running through this 5-on-3 here, Raymond's circling. I'm going to do my best not to tell you exactly what's happening because that would be.
This reminds me of like an hourly job because it looks like they're just running out the clock here. I don't know if we technically have a shot yet.
Hey, there's Seider's going up front.
Seider had a good play.
Yeah.
Seider
got
again.
Raymond. Oh! Clearly, Seider and Raymond here are jealous of Zegras' goal earlier as the two of them getting the best two looks on that. Now, we're going to have about 30 seconds left of a 5-on-3 going into the second period, Mike. I was going to ask you, this is good. This is good content for the 200th episode, so we could focus on us.
God.
Do you remember growing up, how excited our dad would get to see? So that's the end of the first 1-0. 10 shots for Anaheim, 10 shots for us.
We're back, baby. 10-10.
The Ducks are, Do you remember how excited our dad would be that we'd have clean ice at the start, for our power play, to finish off the power play in the next period? Do you remember those conversations? How excited? Not only our dad, but our uncles as we sit around and learn how to absorb and watch hockey.
I don't remember a lot of their deep cut analytics stuff, but I do remember them talking about a fresh sheet of ice.
Yeah.
I do remember that being a focal point of a lot of our hockey discussions.
Well, this does kind of suck because I need someone to say that they know what I'm talking about. Because basically I was going to let everybody know that the analytics test on that, it is not significant. There's no extra goals scored. In fact,
there's no correlation between start of period goals versus end of period goals.
Yeah, that fresh ice does nothing. Apparently.
Has anyone they really charted that? How many goals are scored in the first 10 seconds versus the last 10 seconds, and then the first minute versus the last minute?
It's the difference between getting a fresh sheet of ice. That was the argument. You get a fresh sheet of ice on your power play, you're going to have a better shot at scoring a goal. And it probably just comes from mid-period Q&A from the 80s or 90s, or it came from post-game of well, we got that fresh sheet of ice, so everything was good to go. But yeah, just so everybody knows, it's a hard no. It's not. It does not happen. No significant results to say that you get any benefit. And the last conversation I heard on that, it's actually less chance for you to score if your power play moves into another period. So there you go. It wasn't really a test to see if you score more at the end of a period or at the beginning of a period, but what the test confirmed was that there's no significant acceleration of scoring, getting that fresh sheet of ice. So Not trying to get people to tune out exactly. Just always thought that always tickled me. I always thought that was funny that I grew up thinking that. I grew up knowing that you want a fresh sheet of ice for your power play, and it's not actually a thing.
You know what? It's a huge deal. I always like at halftime in basketball games when they replank the floor. So,
yeah, you gotta get all those scuff marks out of there.
I don't like the bounce on this one. Yeah. What is this, press board? Let's get some oak over here. This is ridiculous.
All right. So here's what we were talking about, and we just can't seem to finish this conversation. Now, Andy Roberts joining us on Facebook. He's picking Lucas Raymond.
Good choice.
Fortunately, Andy, I gotta throw it out there. We're on YouTube right now too, so we actually already have a selection of Lucas Raymond somewhere in here, right? Wasn't that one of our first picks?
Oh, we could still put Giovanni Smith out there, Andy.
Yeah, Andy, I highly recommend you just throw out another name because we already have Lucas in there somewhere. Silver's gotten a Mistikov. Brad, what did he go with?
I thought he went with the monkey.
He went with the monkey from Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. No, he's going with Puce. Could have sworn. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Performance Art wants to make sure Grice gets that first goal. He's such a huge fan. What's up, Timmy? Went with Bertuzzi. I haven't said Lucas Raymond, have I? All right, never mind. Andy,
it was only me. Yeah, Andy, you can have it.
You got Lucas Raymond. Holy mackerel. Yeah, so let's get back to our Zadina conversation.
Move on, man.
We've got a couple of forward lines officially in, right? And this is what I was bringing up here. I'm going to blow this up for myself, so my hesitation. First line, right? I mean, this is a legit first line you could put out on any team. Legit. This is, you could go up against any team. This is going to be on any team. This could challenge to be your first line. Definitely in your top six. This combination of forwards of Bertuzzi, Larkin, Raymond fit anywhere. Based on their production, based on the deep cut analytics, it is a good first line. I'm not giving a hot take right now. We all know this. Mike, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Zadina.
Yeah.
Throw in Joe Veleno. This is a big topic of conversation in the last episode. Is there anything in those other 9 forwards that you look at that group and besides the minutes that would be played, is there anybody out of those 9 forwards in the way that they're organized? And I'm going to back out of this full screen here in a second so I can see people's comments too. Is there any way that they're organized that you say this is legit the second line, this is legit the third line, this is legit the fourth line? Because we were coming to that question, like, does any player, are they owed anything from their franchise? Performance art thrown in there. Veleno is a dud. I'm thinking out loud.
Performance art, how dare you? More comments like that, you're going to be a guest on this show. Yeah,
but,
we really got back end spanked because people were really upset and defending Veleno to the death, dying on that hill. I don't see it.
Yeah, everybody loves them.
They died on the hole. They died in the hill. I don't see it. But man, as far as like organizing these guys, I can't harp on it enough. We have a top 3 and a bottom 9. I don't know how many people have really stood out on this team. I know Fabry effort-wise, and obviously management agrees, which is why they gave him a lengthy, not small extension at $4 million average annual value. But as for the rest of these guys, I gotta say at this point, because there's been so much inconsistency, you could just hit the boggle button, and just kind of, let the chips fall where they fall and, redo the lines that way. So the only reason the second line is the second line is they get, more ice time than the other guys. They get more power play time, which, is a high value scoring opportunity, of course. But I don't think that the loyalty to some of these guys is just unfounded because they haven't done anything to earn that loyalty. Vlado has gotten that for being young. He hasn't done it for any production reasons. Zadina has gotten it because when he played with, arguably our most talented goal scorer, he was on the stat sheet.
Oh, God, I'm so happy you mentioned that. I did the research on that.
I mean, he played with Verana, so
yeah. Do you want to take a stab at how many points he got while playing with Verana? 13 games. Go ahead.
2.
Yeah, 2 points. Did I already tell you that?
You bring it up every episode.
Look, and that's
our research department brings it up every episode.
That again, and I laugh at what Mike's saying, but we're not saying like Zadina has to go. But I want to bring up Silver 3344's point because this is right in lockstep where my head's at. Silver says, I think realistically, anyone is on the chopping block aside from Seider, Raymond, and Larkin. Bertuzzi could be traded for the right price. Asking price would be large. I really like that last little bit there because I think Bertuzzi is available. And we've been talking all season, actually for 200 episodes about trying to build a core here. And if I had to say who's on this core, that Silver nailed it. Those are the 3 guys I can legit see on this team 5 years from now. No question. Everybody else is up for discussion. Now, to say that they're up for discussion, to say that they're on the trade block, doesn't mean we need them to go. I think that's something that gets missed quite a bit because there's going to be 12 forwards that need to fill out these spots, and we're going to need 6 defensemen. So we can't just keep getting rid of guys, and some guys are going to figure out what their role is in the NHL. Could be different from why we drafted them. Zadina, for instance, we drafted for the amazing shot. He's been morphing into a 2-way player, and that might find him, Mike, in the bottom 6 because we're trying to prevent goals. So I'm just throwing it out there that you don't have to hold on too tight. I'd say go the is that 38 special. You got to hold on loosely. You don't let them go. But if you cling too tightly, I forget the last line. But I'm sure it's not good. And it's just
that's for our 50 and older crowd tuning into Red Wings Rant here on a Sunday night.
That's how you got to treat Zadina right now. Like and most of these players, I think. Again, Silver nailed it with the 3 guys in Larkin, Raymond, and Seider. But anybody else is just, is any one player more deserving of like a better opportunity to score? Is Zadina more deserving than Rasmussen? Is Nemistikov's so far, best season? If we can just say that his best, his great start. Well, I'll put it that way with the Red Wings. Is that reason to not give him a shot on the second line just because we want to give Zadina more opportunities? I say that, and I'm not advocating, I'm not campaigning that Nemistikov should be, with all of his empty net goals that he needs, top 6 position. But I just think, it's one of those things where your point that we have a top 3 and a bottom 9 that just kind of mixes it up together. It's just one of those things where I would not get so worked up about Zadina not necessarily getting primo power play time with the likes of Larkin and Lucas Raymond. It's just right now all those guys are kind of just lumped together, and they pretty much. The advanced analytics, if you go over the last 3 years with let's pull that up actually. You know what? we've got two things here, Mike, because I think I've got here is your Filip Zadina full season so far this year. Power play not doing so great. Zadina 5-on-5, of course, bringing the offense. You've got the attempts and the chances.
Oof.
Compare that to Michael Rasmussen and Zadina over the last 3 seasons. Rasmussen's got 878 minutes. Zadina's got 1451.
Yikes.
Not looking great, but obviously it's trending in the right direction, right? Because we see Zadina's numbers way better just for this single season. And of course, again, like I said, this is the last 3 seasons for these two guys. But
Right.
I mean, they're comparable. There's a lot of red for both guys. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and if you're listening to the podcast, basically what we're looking at is Evolving Hockey's representation for a player's production from the advanced analytics perspective. And all I can tell you from the podcast perspective, for people who can't see what we're looking at right now from a table, is that Rasmussen and Zadina have pretty similar numbers. They're just really bad in different places and bad in other places. Neither one in the last 3 seasons is really good. And then we could pull up this is the comparison of Robbie Fabry and Zadina this season. Clearly 5-on-5. Zadina and Fabry actually struggle from giving up chances perspective. And of course, they should kind of mirror each other in some aspects of this because they've played a lot together. And with that being said, the expected goals for per 60 is completely owned from a 5-on-5 perspective for Zadina over Fabry. But then you take a look at the power play over the last year and you ask yourself about a guy who's getting more chances, who gets the better power play opportunities, and maybe because of what it looks like he's doing on the power play is translating to a better spot in the lineup. And I brought up Robbie Fabry because this was the name I was told earlier today should get demoted. Fabry is a much better performer on special teams than Filip Zadina. So there's that. And that's looking at the advanced analytics, which is only fair to bring up because that's the major point to making sure that Zadina gets a fair shot in the lineup, is because his advanced analytics do look really good from the offensive point of view. So I'm going to back out of this real quick. You guys can throw in your thoughts.
So I think the last episode we had, people were really up in arms, a couple, about our criticism of Zadina. And it's not that we're dying to, outright release him or trade him or get rid of him. But I think if he is in a spot like he is now, where he's getting second line ice time and opportunities, you are going to have a 500 hockey team. And that's not good enough to make the playoffs. So, if we get to the point where he can be on the third line and he can go against, talent that's also kind of like at a third line level, that's probably going to be a spot where he can succeed a little bit more. And he gets sporadic opportunities on a power play, not, counted on to do it all the time, because he just hasn't quite shown us that he's, deserving of that. So I don't think we want to,
right,
wish ill against him or, trade him away for a 7th round pick or anything like that. But he should be further down the pecking order. And essentially there's, 3 of our bottom 9 right now should just, maybe be playing out in Beer City and Grand Rapids.
right.
When this team is like truly competitive and ready to win like rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah, you could pick your names right now of guys that just flat out not going to be a part of this team when we're ready to go. There's still a bunch of names in that bottom 9 that will have a spot. There's a handful, I would bet. I wouldn't say all 9 guys are leaving, right? We all know that. That's not a hot take. This is just we're saying normal, boring things right now. And it's so funny because the point that we're making is just like I think this is such a small potatoes kind of thing. Like I told somebody earlier, just in texting. So if you guys become really big fans of Red Wings Rant, or reach out to us, and then eventually you get my phone number, and then we just text back and forth about Red Wings hockey all day while I'm trying to watch my kids. But anyways, what we were talking about, I said, look, this is small potatoes. Hey-o, who just scored? Veronic burying one with the 5-on-3. All right, so that I'm happy about that. Got a tie game. Would have liked that to bounce off of Lucas, or would have liked to see Seider throwing in the back of the net just to play this game against Zegras. But
my Xfinity stream is still loading.
Oh no!
I'm about to be very excited here. Hey, we scored! I think it was Veronic.
Can we say too? We got 21 seconds in here, which means I think we're still on the power play, right? I didn't actually check to see. I didn't actually check to see how much time was left on the 5-on-3.
No, I think we screwed it up. It looks like even strength again. Oh no,
5-on-4.
Yeah, just the graphic hadn't populated yet. Yeah, I got 25 seconds here.
Here we go. Yeah, light it up. This is our worst part of special teams, is this entering the zone. It has been.
Once we figure that out, we're going to be awesome. Okay.
Here we go. Turning the puck over. That was Bertuzzi. Of course, he had the nice turnover in the last game that resulted in a goal. That was beautiful. On the power play. Oh my goodness. God. Was that Seider and Lucas that just bumped into each other? All right. Well, there's
They're thinking about Zegras, so.
Yeah, the two of them are just fighting for the puck right now to try and get on that rookie scoring leaderboard. Should point out too, Dylan Larkin done for the night with an upper body injury. So nobody picked Dylan for the giveaway. So
smart choice.
Nobody lost there. Could we talk about that power play, that mess there? Because it was asked earlier, and we'll probably have to wrap up the show because we still got to keep this at an hour here. We can't just go all night. Did I finish my point? Did we finish our point for our last discussion topic? It's just the power play started, and then I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about entitlement for Zadina, and I think we covered it. Nothing against him, but he's not entitled to that power play time. He hasn't played well enough. To keep getting the opportunities. If nothing's coming of them, we can give other people those opportunities and see if they can do something with it. We'll go WWE on him and say, hey, you got to grab that brass ring if I'm going to put you in the Royal Rumble. You got to do something with it, my man. And he hasn't done it yet. So, you got to prove it. And if you don't prove it, we demote you and give somebody else a shot.
Yeah, the conversation of like effort is what some people are trying to have represented. This is what I want people to consider, because they try to represent effort through advanced analytics, which is fair sometimes. But at the same time, we're not really looking at guys on the ice that are constantly dragging their feet on this team. I think the Red Wings actually put in a pretty hard skating team. And we even started the year, being like segments on Spit and Chicklets because we were the high effort, underdogs. So this team puts in effort from top to bottom. To just make that association that somebody's trying harder because the advanced analytics show more expected goals for, and the Corsi 4 goes up. I think to the same conversation that people want to see Zadina in this position, or Joe Veleno, like on the with first line type of talent, that makes it a little unfair because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, because you can actually get these better looking analytics from what the game plan is compared to a different line or just compared to who you're on the ice against. So it's one of those things where, don't just make the clear cut, this guy's advanced analytics tests better, so clearly he's trying harder than everybody else on the ice. It's something we could use to help guide our decision making, and I think we've tried our best to use when we take a look at the advanced analytics, we've tried our best to use it that way. But at the end of the day too, you could be throwing pucks from any point on the ice and increasing those numbers, but if you're not throwing the right chance at the net, I mean, is that really beyond, our consideration? If we are throwing pucks at the net that can't hit the back of the net, I mean, I don't know. At some point, unlucky has to leave the conversation, and I'm not saying I'm ready to do that. I'm not saying that John Zena. I'm not saying Zadina will never be able to hit the back of the net, but just end of the conversation here is just there's not enough for me right now to say that there's a priority outside of just going. There's our own prospects, and then there's the likes of Sam Gagner. He's not a priority, and he clearly isn't. If you look at his ice time, he's filling out this roster, and he's a good, veteran leader. But yeah, there's a lot of room for all of these guys to continue to grow. I think it gets missed that Robbie Fabry's only 26. So it's just, I think we all got to pump the brakes. There's a lot of room for a lot of these guys to grow. So focusing on one area or getting too upset about one player, kind of the wrong way to assess how this team is being developed. We'll leave it at that. All right.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the safe side, and I think we said those 2 talking points. We really hammered them home.
Yep. Everybody's already fast forwarded to the end of the episode. Mike, the question was asked earlier: is Alex Tanguay in the hot seat? To the point that we were just making for there not being a ton of talent on this team. There is still the idea of entering on the power play, like entering the zone, which I think goes beyond getting a good shot on that. Something's got to give, right? Like at what point is there some part of a power play? Should it just be basic and like routine? Or is it all just like, well, we don't have enough skills, so we can't blame Alex Tanguay?
Can I just, today was the finale for the Detroit Lions, okay? They are not a talented football team. They are their record at 3-13-1. But it still felt like there was noticeable, not just coaching philosophies, but play design. I was like, wow, I can't remember the last time I saw so many successful trick plays. And it wasn't necessarily the other team's ineptitude. They were pretty tricky plays. And I myself, if I had somebody put that against me in Madden, I would have given up a touchdown as well, because I was like, I didn't see any of those moves coming. Hats off to the Lions for pulling that off. Those were noticeable coaching changes, plays that they designed that scored. They were incredibly successful. With Tanguay, I don't see a noticeable difference between this power play and years past when he was not, the czar of the power play. So I don't think he's in a seat to get an extension. I don't think that's about to happen. I don't know if we're all just waiting for Vrana to come back and just totally get both power play lines going. I don't know if that's going to happen, seeing as though he'll only be on one of those power play lines. But I did think that at the almost halfway mark of the season, we'd see some sort of difference. And it still looks like the same kind of, Blach product where I'm not giddy when I see a Red Wing power play opportunity. I actually feel a little anxiety because I know that 2 minutes of the game, if we're not winning, are going to be gone, and we don't score very well on the power play.
That's actually a great way to put it, because are you ever excited when you see a power play? It's just one of those things where we know maybe there's a less chance that the other team's going to score for 2 minutes, and that's pretty much what we get out of it. And even that hasn't really been true the last couple of games, so just throw that right in the shredder.
Yeah, giving up shorties. Yeah.
I would say the quick answer to this is just there has been no improvement, but we could sit back and look at this team, and maybe the better time to judge it is when Vrana's back. But I mean, this team's better than last year talent-wise, right? And you got to think there's more chemistry. They have to be more cohesive the longer that they're all playing together, and there hasn't been too much turnover. So all those facts added together, I would say that it's maybe a worse job. Like you have the likes of Seider and Lucas Raymond, and like I expected way too much, but I think a fair expectation would be better than what we've seen. The droughts were supposed to be a thing of the past, and they're still sticking around. We got one today, but I would look at that goal by Hronek and go, wow, it just went right through the goalie's mitt there. So how excited you want to be.
And by the way, the 5-minute man looks like he got another penalty here. Giovanni Smith.
Nice. Putting us in position to win. All right. Like I mentioned, we didn't want to watch the whole game with you guys, so we do have to wrap up here. And we are playing still a couple of games here. Last guy to comment gets a sticker. And we're also playing we were going to play, you picked the first Red Wings goal. Clearly nobody picked Hronek. So for anybody who's commented so far in the live stream, we're going to keep track. And if any of those guys score, and they're the next one to score, you'll get the t-shirt, and then we'll kind of try and get a hold of you somehow. Maybe we could reply to you. But, if you guys see that your player that you picked scored, it's admin@bodpodcast.com. We'll make sure that you guys get your t-shirt. As we're wrapping up here, maybe somebody will just put one in the back of the net, and we'll be all set. But I'm also going to count the comments here, and we'll see who won that hoodie. Got to make sure I called a hoodie here so that Brad's still interested. But yeah, Mike, this is episode 200. Really hoped we'd see a bigger turnout here on the live stream, but YouTube doesn't like us right now. They do a better job of having people find us any other time we stream. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for hanging around as long as you guys have. If you've been around for just a couple episodes, or if you've been around for all 200, we appreciate y'all. And that's why we're trying to give back today. So far, looks like I've got a winner. And what's up, Timmy, who's trying to win a sticker and a hoodie right now. Hats off to you. What's up, Timmy? You got this in the bag, my man. So, Mike, any parting thoughts, and then we'll sign off?
No, just appreciation to Timmy, performance art, the whole gang. Oh, no problem, Timmy. And hopefully, again, the Red Wings keep looking down, see those red jerseys, think they're at home, man. Get a win tonight.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
They have to be
5,
relevant comments, too. You can't just put last.
No, I like it.
Happy 200
I like it.
counts. I'll count happy 200th.
All right. Silver gives the nod to Timmy. Hey, you know what, Silver? Hit me up. I'm generous. I'm feeling generous.
You know what? For that generosity, Silver, you take it. Silver a name, but gold and metal. How about that?
Timmy, you get the hoodie. Silver, hit us up. I got a prize for you too. It's admin, ADMIN @bodpodcast.com. bodpodcast.com. You guys both hit us up. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. All podcast listeners, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. And you can do it on Spotify too. So everybody go do that. Greatly appreciate it. Everyone have a nice night. And hopefully the Wings pull this one out. See you later.
Woo!